I don't wanna say anything, cause if I do, I might say the wrong words. Oh no. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can we find a single reason not to say goodbye? Oh, if I said what's on my mind, would you stay with me tonight? If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. Oh, would that make you run and hide? Don't know what to do anymore. I'm out of options, nothing's working. I'm out of service. Come help me now, I'm fucking nervous. I'm trying but can't scratch the surface. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can we find a single reason not to say goodbye?
Everybody, this is Cody James the Barker from the NWA, also the leader of Cody Country. You are watching Cole TV. Follow these guys on all their socials. Click, like, subscribe, share, and give these guys the respect that they give to you in content.
Greetings and salutations, and yes, we are fucking all over the place tonight. Welcome PW60. So it's been a chaotic start for us. We have a really bad storm going on here right now. Hope to God we can make it through the next hour-ish or so, because it has been a clusterfuck just trying to get on the air. Did I mention I'm Xlj the Og, joined by Mr. B-Roll? How the fuck are you, B-Roll?
Well, speaking of cluster, we're going to talk about that, right?
Oh, we are going to talk. We're going to talk a little bit about the clusterfuck. You know, got a little video for you from Collective Week, and thank you everybody for checking out Collective Week last week here on Cole TV. But we got a little package to show you here later on in the show. But welcome back, PW60, where we recap everything that happens this past week in the world of pro wrestling. Had a lot happen, didn't we, Mr. B-Roll? I'm sorry, I'm like pissed off at my technology right now. By the way, my mic and camera may go out in the middle of this. We're going to improvise, so just bear with us, folks. We love being live. It's our favorite thing in the world to do.
That is right. And if it wasn't for a wonderful Stardom show, which was an awesome show, but none to say, I think we need to go to say that the clock starts now.
Yes, and of course, our top story this week brought to you by Wendy's. And by the way, hit up Wendy's. See, there goes the camera. Fuck you. I'm sorry, Wendy's. I'm sorry. By the way, Wendy's has the new jalapeno ranch cheeseburger that just come out today. So this will be available for a limited time only. But you can go hit up your local Wendy's right now. That is available because Wendy's, you know when it's real. But Wendy's presenting our top story this week. And hey, it happened over a week ago. we got to talk about it. We have a new AEW champion, and I don't even know if you can hear me at this point. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can
All
hear
right.
you, buddy.
Yep, you can hear me. Fuck the camera. As long as you hear my sweet sensual voice. Talk about Darby Allin win the AEW championship while I try to figure out this bullshit.
Yeah, so to kick off our Mania week, if you will, but
Collective week.
collective week, Darby Allin, some would say, I guess, shocked the world and got the 1, 2, 3 on old Maxwell Jacob Freeman. It was awesome. I loved it from start to finish, from them teasing the match at the beginning of the show, and Max has no idea, and it was just like, it was one of those things. Is like, okay, of how they were setting it up, you're like, okay, this could actually happen, but it's like, is it actually gonna happen?
Right. Yeah, and I think the way this was booked was, oh my god. Okay, can you hear me?
I can still hear you.
Jesus Christ. But no, the way this thing was booked was perfect in every sense of the word. Like unexpected, unapologetic as it should be. Like just, I loved how like, okay, MJF kind of hits him in the balls before the match even gets started, and then Darby gets him back before the match gets started and hits him in the balls, then does the 4 coffin drops. And the piece de resistance would be the headlock takeover pinfall, telling a story from, 4 years ago or whatever, from that one Full Gear. So, I mean, I loved every bit of it. It was masterful. And what a way to start off, like, arguably the biggest week typically in professional wrestling. So for AEW to do that was, like, the timing of this was brilliant, I thought. It was unexpected, but it worked so good, and it gave us something to talk about going into, like, a massive weekend. Like, everything about this, in my opinion, I felt like was perfectly booked. And man, oh man, like Darby Allin, long overdue. It's great to see one of the originals, one of the pillars, as your AEW World Champion. Don't know how long it's going to last, but man, oh man, already he's starting out of the gate with some incredible matches on the horizon, and already too. And speaking of which, let's talk about it.
Well,
As
and
we,
like that being said, like I feel like I don't think it really matters how long he holds it.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
people are always
so.
gonna
It's
remember.
so damn memorable about the
Yeah.
win, and let's go ahead and talk about it as we go to your Bloom Energy drink, AEW Roundup. Bloom Energy, of course, you can get Bloom Energy now. And remember, bloom into your best self with Bloom Energy drink.
Well, I got a what's your favorite Bloom flavor?
I think I like the watermelon lemonade. Was it watermelon, strawberry watermelon, or something like that?
Yeah.
That's a good one. But there's a new one I like too. It's like a lemonade, like cherry or something like that. It's really good. But don't forget, pick you up some Bloom energy drinks and bloom into your best self. But let's talk about AEW from this past week. Let's talk about Dynamite. Huge Dynamite from this past week. Lot going on. Kicked off the show with an irate MJF coming out, and then we got Kevin Knight coming out, and they're setting up for a match for the TNT Championship this upcoming Wednesday on Dynamite between those two. Brody King and Leo Rush. An interesting matchup. What do you think of Leo Rush, the Blackheart Leo Rush? He's been kind of an odd cat here these past couple weeks, especially. I got to see him up close and personal. The collective, I can say, this is creepy.
Yeah, I feel like he somehow amps up the creepiness each week, right?
Yeah. We also got to see a returning Samoa Joe back in action. Also, huge shout out going up against Cody Chun because they were in Portland. Huge wrestler there, who we've talked about before on the channel. Big member of Prestige Wrestling and a lot of those promotions out there in the Northwest. So that was pretty cool seeing him. But Samoa Joe is back in AEW. It's great to see him. Unfortunately, that does mean I guess we're going to see more Hook on TV, but whatever. Get what you can, right? Also, Will Ospreay and Mark Davis, man, in a war, and then the Death Riders taking Ospreay out. We later find out on Collision what that was all about. Mina Shirakawa and Hikaru Shida had a tremendous matchup. But the matchup everybody is talking about, without a shadow of a doubt, is the main event of Dynamite. Darby Allin's first title defense against Tommaso Ciampa and B-Roll. A lot of people saying this is like one of the best AEW title defenses on television they've seen in a long time. This was a tremendous matchup. And of course, it's our Great Clips match of the week here on PW60 is Darby Allin against Tommaso Ciampa for the AEW Championship. Speaking of Great Clips right now, $9.99 haircut sale going on up until Thursday. So if you need a haircut, hit up Great Clips, because remember, with Great Clips, it's going to be great. But man, oh man, what a matchup this past Wednesday. What do you think of Darby versus Ciampa?
Yeah, it's like you said, this is one of the best, like, well, not only title matches, but I feel like televised matches that we've got on. Not that there's been bad matches, but like this was like this was a really good match, and like I feel like you always remember their first defense a lot. And this was a really good first defense of the title.
My God, was it ever? Because there was times where I thought, "Holy shit, Ciampa's going to win this thing!" Like, and when you can get when you can get the crowd hooked like that, especially on what is typical, like a kind of, I don't want to say a layup, but usually like the first title defense is kind of a foregone conclusion. The champ's going to retain, but I thought maybe for a split moment Ciampa was going to win this damn thing, but I can tell you this: like, I don't think these guys have insane chemistry, and they're far from wrestling ever again. I look for them to lock it up in the very near future. Could you imagine them in the Continental Classic or something hooking it up? Oh my God, that'd be a classic. But man, oh man, this was an incredible match, and there were some incredible matches this week, but we had to go with Tommaso Ciampa versus Darby Allin from Dynamite as your Great Clips match of the week here on PW60. Let's talk about Collision from this past Saturday. This was a big show too. We mentioned the Death Riders earlier, kind of laying it out all for Will Ospreay. What do you think? What do you make of this with the Death Riders and Will Ospreay, and like trying to teach him a lesson? And I'm confused, kind of, but it's kind of neat, I guess.
I'm confused, but what it seems to be is like, is he gonna join up with them for Anarchy at the Arena at Double or Nothing and take on the Don Callis family or something like that? Or...
I don't think it'd be that, because if you think about the Callis families, Fletcher's hurt, Okada and Takeshi are gonna meet. I don't think it'd be that. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on there with Darby and him. But it's, I mean, I don't think he's going to join the Death Riders, obviously, but it's very, I don't know. It's very interesting, because I did not see this kind of being how Ospreay's return has went so far. But honestly, if you think about it, it's really interesting and almost compelling, I would say, because you're just like, man, what the hell is going to happen next with Ospreay, you know? Like, where is he going to go from here? Like, how is he going to counteract the Death Riders? You know, he had Aussie, or he had the United Empire there. Is he going to bring them back into the fold? Like, what's going to be the end game here? You know, so it's very fascinating, very interesting to see what they're doing there. But the loaded show on Collision, we had a lot of championships on the line. The conglomeration successfully defending their trios championships against the Don Callis family. Jack Perry successfully retaining his national championship over El Clone as well. Also, man, what about that crazy 10-man tag with the Dogs teaming up with the Death Riders take on the Young Bucks and the Rascals? The Young Bucks and the Rascals, that is a spectacular team. Also, got to give a huge shout out. How awesome was it seeing Becca on AEW as Becca went one-on-one against Chris Statlander? Of course, Stat would get the win. But great to see him, like, Becca get on TV, and she's a great independent wrestler if you don't know who Becca is. So just don't listen to her sing. But you also had Tekla and Sky Blue in tag action against Persephone and Alex Windsor. It's a great Collision, man. Like, AEW, once again, man, weekly television has just been killing it. Like, I find myself, I know we've talked about this before, more and more and more enjoying Collision on a weekly basis, man. This was another great show. But you mentioned it, Double or Nothing. We'll be here before you know it, my friend. Coming up on Sunday, May 24th, coming to you live from New York City. And we already know Takeshita will challenge Okada for the AEW International Championship in a highly anticipated matchup there. Also, we do know now it's official, FTR against Copeland and Christian for the tag titles in a street fight. Remember, if Copeland and Christian cannot defeat FTR, they will officially retire from professional wrestling. So a lot's going to be on the line in that matchup. Of course, stay tuned here on PW60. I'm sure as we will have plenty more matches announced coming your way here as we get closer and closer to Double or Nothing. But huge week in the world of pro wrestling, as we mentioned, not only in AEW, but a lot going on Joshi Wrestling. So that being said, and of course the big thunder right there. But the big event of the weekend by far was the All-Star Grand Queendom. We're going to get into that. But we want to thank so much to Old Spice, as Old Spice is presenting our Joshi Roundup here this week on PW60. Don't forget, with Old Spice, smell like your own man. And let me tell you something, you wrestling fans out there, you should definitely use some Old Spice deodorant. Highly recommend it. Clean your ass, put on some deodorant, and you're good. But Old Spice, remember, if you want to be your man's man, or smell like a man's man, get you some Old Spice. Now, let's talk about All-Star Grand Queendom. Arguably one of the biggest shows of the year for Stardom. A lot happened on this show. And of course, when it comes to Joshi Wrestling, when it comes to Stardom, we have to go to our very own, the light-skinned Gaijin, with this roundup of everything that happened at All-Star Grand Queendom. Check this out.
Yeah, I would have never expected this to happen. So, for those of you that don't know, All-Star Grand Queendom is now officially in the books. And man, do we have a lot to talk about. For starters, congratulations to Azumi and Miyu Amasaki. They defeated BMI 2000 to become the brand new Goddess of Stardom champions, ending Natsuko Tora and Ruaka's reign at 276 days as champions. And a special shout out to Hanan, who just became the brand new Wonder of Stardom champion, ending the reign of Konami, who spent 174 days as champion. Although the night was not all smiles for Hanan, as B. Priestley would hoist up the brand new Wonder of Stardom champion in celebration, only to hit a Queen's Landing on Hanan, only to say that she was never Hanan's friend and revealed underneath her star shirt with a shirt representing hate. I guess a leopard never really does change their spots now, do they? However, B. Priestley would also add that Hanan is now Ichiban Shopai. Wait, I thought Momo Watanabe was Ichiban Shopai. Don't tell her I said. And the night would then conclude with our main event, as Saya Kamitani would defend the World of Stardom Championship against the #1 contender, Sayaka Kurara. And in the end, Sayaka Kurara hit a 450 splash that would end the reign of the Phoenix Queen, ending Saya's reign as World of Stardom champion at 483 days, the third longest reign in Stardom history, thus avenging the loss suffered last year from Tam Nakano in the retirement match, and upon doing so, saving the Cosmic Angels faction once and for all. However, Sayaka could not celebrate for too long, as she was approached backstage after her match by Maki Ito, who officially named herself as the next contender for the World of Stardom Championship. So now with All-Star Grand Queendom in the books, we now look forward to what lies ahead for World Wonder Ring Stardom. And that means gearing up for the summer and the 5-star Grand Prix. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Joshi Wrestling is for everyone.
Thank you so much, Lightskin. And yes, Joshi Wrestling is for everybody. And man, oh man, like he said, this was a tremendous show. This was a changing of the guard type of show. This is everything you want out of like your company's biggest show of the year and then some. This was a spectacle, was All Star Grand Queendom. As he said, and the big story of the night, it was a huge showdown for the World of Stardom Championship. Of course, Saya Kamatani, who's been on one of the most amazing runs in all of pro wrestling, not just Joshi wrestling, but pro wrestling. And she was going up against Sayaka Kurawa. And remember, if Sayaka lost this matchup, the Cosmic Angels, one of the probably most lineage of like any of the factions in Stardom wrestling, I would say, would have to split up. But she was able to do it nonetheless and dethrone the Phoenix Queens. So Sayaka Kura is your new World of Stardom champion. And of course, that makes her our Pennzoil Wrestler of the Week here on PW60 is the great Sayaka Kura. And speaking of Pennzoil, don't forget that that Pennzoil promise, they protect what matters most, and that's your motor vehicle. Pennzoil. Yeah. But no, man, this is incredible, incredible. Like, I think going into this, like, it was kind of 50-50, I feel like. Like, I thought, man, are they really going to pull the trigger here? But this was a smart booking decision, I think, on Stardom's behalf, because we're going to now have another megastar. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens with Saya Kamatani after this. And I got to tell you, Hate did not have the greatest night at All-Star Grand Queendom. But as our good buddy Lightskin said, B. Priestley is the newest member of Hate, which is, like he said, no surprise, turning. I mean, she's always just been a bad like a bad guy, or bad girl, I should say. I was trying to say that in the most discreet, non-sexual way. I hope it worked. Anyways, B. Priestley, part of Hate, makes you wonder, like, what's going to go on with Hate, because I feel like you've got several members there who kind of, like, could easily step into that leader role. And it makes me wonder, like, who's going to step up next, it kind of is reminiscent, if you think back several years ago, to when the Bullet Club, and there was kind of a dispute between Cody and then God and Kenny Omega and so I see something like that happening potentially with Hate, but time will tell on that. But man, oh man, we have a ton of new champions coming out of All-Star Grand Queendom, and of course Hanan defeating Konami for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. I believe, I want to say this is her first run with that championship, but congratulations to her. Also, we got to give a huge congratulations to Asumi and Mia Amsako for defeating Natsupoi and Ruko for the Stardom Tag Team Championships. Of course, as we know, those were under the grasp of Hate as well. So, like I say, Hate got a new member, man, but they lost a lot of gold on this show. This was a great matchup, as you can imagine. Suri going up against Megan Bain for the IWGP Women's Championship. A tremendous matchup. Of course, Suri ultimately retaining. I tell you what, the rest of the show was wonderful as well. You had a great way of kicking it off with Maki Ito defeating Natsupoi, and like Lightskin says, not Maki Ito now, putting herself in line to be the number one contender for the World of Stardom Championship. Also, we got to mention too a tremendous matchup between Susie Suzuki and Rina Yamshka, or the Bloody Girls School, in a hardcore tag match with Maika and Hanako, as they picked up a win there. Also, that gauntlet tag team matchup that saw Hazuki and Kogami get the win in that tremendous matchup. Also, we did have one champion retain, as Rana Yagami successfully retained her Future of Stardom Championship against Emma Mashimo. And I apologize, it is thundering something fierce here. So if you hear that in the background, my dogs start barking. That's why. But also, we got to mention the retirement ceremony of Saki Kashima, also taking place as well. Tremendous show. I think this will be available for replay on Stardom World in about a week or so. You can get it, but you would just have to. It's a pay-per-view essentially. So, and rightfully so, because I mean this is the biggest show of the year for them. So, but check it out, man. Stardom All Star Grand Queendom lived up to the hype and then some. It was a phenomenal show. May go down as one of the better shows of the year in all pro wrestling. But we got so much more going on in the world of Joshi as Marigold Spring Victory Series took place this past weekend. And there's a big matchup on this show. We're going to talk about the ramifications of this. But some of the noteworthy matchups on this show, Sierra Yamako defeating Angel Hayes to win the BEW Women's Championship. You had Chikagota and Koki Amari that matchup ended in a 15-minute draw. And then you had them continue on after the time limit expired with Chikagoto picking up the win. But the big one everybody's talking about, Miku Ayano successfully retained her Marigold World Championship against Utami Hayashita, who is arguably, you could say, maybe the face of Marigold, one of the faces when it started, but that is no more, folks, because she officially announced Utami Hayashita is a free agent. She's leaving Marigold, which makes you wonder where in the world she's going to end up, B-roll. Like, because, I mean, she's done a lot in the world of Joshi. Could she come over here to North America? Could we see her maybe like in an AEW ring? Do you think maybe she could, God forbid, go to NXT or something? Like, I mean, wherever she goes, I feel like she'll be very successful because she's a hell of a talent. She's one of the top Joshi wrestlers in the world. But it'd be interesting to see where she ends up and lands. And speaking of Joshi,
anywhere but the Fed, please.
Anywhere but the Fed.
Only because I don't feel like, and the same could probably be argued about AEW, but like I don't feel like they would use it right. So
right, yeah. I totally in agreement, my friend. Well, talking about Joshi Wrestling, Tokyo Joshi Pro did a tremendous show with Eve Wrestling, who we love here on the channel. We talk about Eve Wrestling, of course, out of the UK, and this show is actually available on the Eve YouTube channel. If you're a member, you have a membership. It's only $9.99 a month. Highly recommend it because there's a lot of good stuff on there. But this cross-promotional show was pretty badass, man. You had some great cross-promotional matchups. Of course, there was a mini tournament to crown the new number one contender for the Eve International Championship, and in the finals, Mia Yamshika defeated Shoko Nakajima, and she is now the new number one contender for the Eve International Championship, and has a date with destiny, so to speak, as she will meet Chris Statlander, who is the current Eve International Champion. So that's going to be a hell of a matchup. I don't know if they've ever went at it before, man, but I can't wait to see that one. Also, the great matchup between Rio and Hyper Masao, as Rio successfully would defeat her. And Session Moth Martina had to improvise with her partner, picking up Alice Inc. Ended up joining her, who had lost in the semifinals there to Mia Yamshika, as they were in tag team action against Lucy Sky and Yuka Aino. But check it out, man. It's a great show. Like I say, it is on the YouTube channel for Eve. Highly recommend you check them out, man. They got a lot of good stuff on there. A lot of good stuff. So, and finally, coming out of Joshi News, we here at PW60, we want to wish congratulations to you, who recently was married. Of course, you retired from the world of pro wrestling. Tremendous talent, working several years for several Joshi promotions. So, what a way to kind of kick off her, next step in life, if you will. as she is now happily married. So congratulations to her. You love to see it, man. It's good to see. She's an awesome wrestler too. I hope, like being the greedy wrestling fan, I hope we see her again. But I get it. Like, and the smart thing is with Joshi wrestlers, when they retire, they usually typically stay retired. So, but congratulations to her. But that's all that's going on in the world of Joshi wrestling. And yes, we know you're going to want to talk about it. We got to talk about it. We got a lot of free agents that's going to be coming up here in July in the world of pro wrestling. I mean, some big noteworthy names from the Fed. I think the list is like 20 or something. But some of the bigger names you can see here, all the way at 6. You had Malachi Black and Selena Vega gone. Motor City Machine Guns, Kari Sane. It's a lot, man. But I forget who it was I saw. Oh, it was one of the talents from last year who got released. I can't think of her name for the life of me, but she said something great, and I totally agree with it. It's like, this is like their freedom day. They're being emancipated. They don't have to put up with all the bullshit. They can go and perform their craft, perform their art. And this is going to be exciting to see where everybody ends up. That being said, though, I am being told. Okay. Well, I guess with their thoughts on this that wants to share it with us here on PW60, I guess we have with us TNA president Carlos Silva with his thoughts on this. And by the way, this video is brought to you by Durex condoms. Durex, remember, they're better shape, therefore you have better sex. Synthetic and ribbed for both your pleasures. Durex. All right, let's go to Carlos Silva with his thoughts on these releases.
Previously on PW60. Hello, this is Carlos Silva, once again, president of Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. I'm wearing a very outdated hat, and I've taken loads of amphetamines. And I just wanted to let the world know that I have never shaved my back, and I laugh at those commercials where there's puppies crying and you want to donate money. Ha 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 ha. And you know what? I love giving bad news. But you know what? I'm going to tell somebody else to give the bad news. Little Mr. Notorious BGM, Mr. Gouch, why don't you tell the people of PW60, because I'm not going to say P-Dub City like you do, weirdo. Tell them the bad news. Carlos Silva, away! I'm sorry the White 6 got released.
Well, yes, there you have it. Thank you, BGM. But fuck you, Carlos Silva. So, well, hey, we got an update on some cards for you. Big one coming up in New Japan, of course, the Wrestling Dontaku card, which will be 2 nights of incredible action. As we know, Gabe Kidd has been injured. Will be out of action. Will not be able to compete for the Global Heavyweight Championship. However, that being said, in his place will be one Andrade El Idolo will challenge Yota Tsuji for the Global Championship, as well, that will be your main event of night 1. Also, we got the Never Open Championship on the line with Ren Narita defending against Bolton Oleg, and some other tremendous matchups. But talking about night 2 in your main event, Callum Newman will defend his IWGP Championship for the first time ever, with his challenger being Shingo Takagi. Also, Takeshita to defend the New Japan World Television Championship against Chase Owens. And how about this one? Will Ospreay, Hanari, and Great Ohan challenging for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles. Should be very interesting to see what happens.
Ospreay is a busy man, isn't he?
He is. He is indeed. So, Wrestling Dontaku will be coming up here very soon. I think it's in the beginning of May, I want to say. So, of course, stay tuned to PW60 as we will have the results from that show as well for you. And got a big show coming out for Game Changer Wrestling. This GCW one night only, coming to you from the infamous ECW Arena, coming up here on Saturday, May the 2nd, this Saturday. Already a tremendous card, tremendous lineup, especially if you love your hardcore and deathmatch wrestling. Nick Gage and Bear Bronson one-on-one. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. A big 6-way scramble for the Ultraviolet Championship with Matt Tremont putting it up for grabs. Joey Janelle and Vipers one-on-one. That's a great matchup. I think Vipers is red hot, man. I saw her probably, I think, the most out of anybody at the Collective. I mean, she was practically on every show. KJ Orso against Ricky Morton. That's going to be an interesting one. Of course, a couple more will be added along the way. But that show is this Saturday. Of course, if you want to catch it, you can head on over to Triller TV and get you some of GCW's one night stand. Of course, we will be having the results of that for you here on the next PW60. Well, I mentioned it earlier. We've got the Collective just happened. Of course, you all just got to see Collective Week here on Cole TV. It was an incredible and amazing time, to say the least. That being said, we've got this awesome video package kind of highlighting some of the amazing moments that we got to see during the Collective. And speaking of which, presenting this highlight package is none other than Bear Bell's protein bars. Remember, this is protein that actually tastes good. Got me the creamy crispy right here, buddy. It's a delicious protein bar. Look at this. Bam. Oh, it's so good. Tastes spectacular. Remember, you can get all your Bear Bell's protein bars at Walmart, GNC, Target, and other stores that sell protein bars. Damn, this is good. It's like eating a candy bar almost. Well, that being said, let's go to this highlight video of the Collective Week here on Cole TV. Well, there you have it. Some of just the amazing highlights from Collective Week. You can catch a replay of all those vlogs. We have a playlist now here on the channel as well, so encourage you to check that out, see all the amazement from the Collective. Speaking of Collective, there was a lot that happened Collective Weekend. Matter of fact, we've got several stories we've got to get to. But
this is the point I'd like to make out on the show where I feel like we become TMZ.
Right, yeah, pretty much. But with this Collective recap, we want to thank our sponsor, Empire Floors. Remember, if you can get a free quote, all you got to do is call that number. What's that number, B-Roll?
1-800-EMPIRE today.
Or 588-2300 Empire, but close enough. Yes, 588-2300 Empire today. You can get your free quote for your floors. Pay no attention to what Mr. B-Roll said. It's once again 588-2300 Empire. So, one of the big stories coming out of there.
I've heard that commercial. Okay.
Yeah. This was big news. Unexpected news too, as well. Josh Barnett announcing at the end of his Bloodsport that they will be discontinuing Bloodsport. Now we don't know if this is a permanent thing, temporary, whatever it could be. But man, what a run it was! I'm just bummed because I was seriously trying to get to this show, but my body was just like, I need a nap. And I was going to try to make it to the midnight show that night, and obviously that didn't happen. Thanks a lot, JCW, you fucking juggalos. But anyways, nonetheless, this is huge news, man. So Bloodsport was always one of the highlights of the collective, so it's going to be interesting to see kind of where we go from here. But the concept was awesome. I'm happy and privileged to say I got to go check out at least a couple of these shows. But man, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport is going to be missed. So what's going to fill that void? I don't know. We'll have to see. A lot of chaos going on at the collective / WrestleCon. Of course, collective in collaboration with WrestleCon. This too, Big Vito going at it with a fan. It's weird too because I ran into Vito like my first night was there, and kind of had a nice little decent conversation in passing. It wasn't but like 20 seconds or something. Just how you doing? You look good, man. It's good to see you. Glad you're here, etc. But man, I guess he didn't get the hint. I guess so. My understanding is this guy that was pressing him is some jackass online or something. That's like a carpenter or something, or he does something like a working man gimmick or something, and he works these wrestlers, so to speak. Like I guess he like did it with Matt Riddle or something, and it was a joke or something. But one ain't no joke to Big Vito's. Big Vito was gonna lay his ass out. Thankfully. D'Lo Brown coming over, kind of separating, but was it being there for this, man? WrestleCon, like I didn't go actually in, but I saw enough from outside to know like that it just looked messed up. And speaking of messed up, this is really messed up. Some piece of shit fan, and I use that term lightly. This asshole actually touched the former Cora Jade, Elena Black's ass, and was kicked out of WrestleCon. I believe charges were filed against him. But what the actual fuck here, B-roll? Like, what is wrong with you people? Like, why would you fucking do this? Like, dude, like, just get the fuck out of here. Like, we don't need you. You give wrestling fans a bad name. Ridiculous, utterly like unacceptable in any realm whatsoever, any pop culture thing. She shouldn't have to put up with this shit. But here we are. Fuck this guy. He's a piece of shit forever. On some other noteworthy news items coming out of the collective weekend. How about Tekla showing up at the Stardom show there at the Palms and laying out Stardom president Taro Okada. She got him again, man. I'm wondering what in the hell is going to happen at Forbidden Door, like with Tekla and like going up against Stardom, because I mean she's pretty much waged a war. Are we going to get those two 1-on-1? You think? Do we get the Stardom president against Tekla? You think? Could that happen? Probably not.
Probably not, but
who like God, could you imagine if we get like a Saya Kamatani against Tekla? That would be a tremendous matchup. I mean, I'd be sending my heaviest gun against her. Very interesting to see the confrontation there and Forbidden Door. What's going to happen there? Because there's some tremendous rivalries and stories already building up for that show, which we'll have a little bit more information on later in the show. This was tragic, and I was there front and center for this one, folks. Jack Cartwheel suffering a horrific injury. I saw it. Like I was with my good buddy Greg and Emily, and we saw this in person. Like as soon as he does like the rotation, all of his body weight goes on that arm. It was bad. Like him, instantaneously, he goes to the outside. They throw the X up. Hopefully, it's not on camera. I know I cut away from when I was, doing the vlog, and you could hear him like shrieking in pain. It was rough to watch. So, I believe he's getting get checked out this week from the doctor. They're gonna do like a scan and see what exactly the extent of the injury is. But obviously, he's gonna be out for a little while. I mean, it's one thing if a talent is out for a while, but when it's of the nature of this, where you have an independent contractor, I mean, the best way you can support them, folks, is go over to follow them on their social medias, buy some of their merch, buy their T-shirts, stickers, whatever Jack Cartville's got. Help him out, man, because he's going to need it. We here at PW6, we want to wish him well. I hope he has a speedy recovery, and just stays healthy and happy, because this is going to be a challenging time for him for sure, because he had a lot of momentum. So, but hopefully he will recover and be okay. I hate hearing this, man. This is a bummer. So and this is the first time I can remember, like during a Mania weekend where some shit like this happens. But this gentleman, Mark Izzard, coming over from, I believe, the UK for part of Mania weekend or week. Apparently, he was last seen Friday night and has not been seen since. So, anybody in the Vegas area, be on the lookout for this gentleman. Hopefully, he is okay. But yeah, we hope that he is okay, and people find Mark Izzard soon. But spread the word, especially if you're out in the Vegas area. Hopefully he is okay and safe. But hate to hear this. Of course, like I say, hopefully he ends up. And I mean, I don't know what the extent, like, especially the longer it goes on, your mind goes towards the worst thing. I hope that's not the case for this guy. But last time he was spotted was on the Friday night there. I forget what that date is, but the night before Mania, pretty much. So, or yeah, it even says on here last seen on the 4th. It looks like, so. The 14th, I should say. This is a really fucking cool story, though. We'll talk about this for a moment. Man like Dries, okay, which got to see him a lot at the collective. He was incredible. He always is. But this story is really cool, man. So he was on a plane from over in the UK, flight over here, and he met, I think it was six of these gals who was coming to Vegas for like a girls trip type of thing stuff, and he was telling them all about like what he was going for, and he was going to wrestle and stuff, and invited them to shows. They actually showed up to Joey Janela's spring break to show support for the man like Dries. So here he is taking a picture with these girls. Actually, like, he didn't have their names, I guess, or whatnot, but like through, of course, social media and stuff, able to track them down. But a pretty cool story coming out of the collective, I think. Pretty awesome. I mean, who would have thunk it that these old gals would be at Joey Janela's spring break, one of the biggest independent shows of the year, and it was crazy and chaotic. But man, that's a cool story, I think, coming out of the collective. But those are just some of the stories coming out of the collective weekend. Speaking of shows, let's talk about this real quick. CMLL had their 70th anniversary Arena Mexico show. And the big one coming out of this one, Mascarada Dorada would win the main event against Black Tiger and Hechicero to become your new Universal CMLL champion. So congratulations to Mascarada Dorada. But this was a tremendous card. You can catch this on Triller TV too, by the way. But I mean, man, CMLL is killing it. It's cool. Let me tell you a real quick story here about CMLL. So, on my ride from Lyft after the clusterfuck, guy was taking me back to Mandalay Bay to my room, and didn't know anything about wrestling or anything like that. But he was telling me how the week before, him and his friends were in Mexico City, and they went to the arena to check out a CMLL show. And he was showing me like video on his phone and stuff. Like, he didn't know anything about it or anything. He was just checking it out, and the vibe was just incredible. Like, he had a blast. He was telling me like how awesome it was. So it just goes to show you like the reaches of Lucha Libre and CMLL, man. Like it's incredible. But congratulations to them on celebrating their 70th anniversary in Arena Mexico. And God, I hope there's another 70 more. And it's thundering here again. But yeah, tremendous show. Yeah, you can see Cash. He's a little freaking out. I don't blame him. Well, let's talk about Ring of Honor from this past week. Ring of Honor, of course, over on Honor Club, and pretty good show, man. From what I seen of it, I didn't see the whole show, but from majority of it, I love Mark Davis against Beef. Oh, that was a badass matchup. Like, let me tell you something. Getting to see Mark Davis up close and personal, because I ran into him several times at the Collective. He's got a big badonkadonk just as much as like it is on like that thing is juicy AF. I'm telling you. Like, and I saw him with his girlfriend too, and she's a lucky gal, let me tell you. So, I'm just saying, calling it like I see it. I got my dog is going crazy here right now, so I'm sorry. Also on the show, you had the premier athletes, MXM TV, you know, your usuals on ROH television. So you can catch it out over on Ring of Honor's channel. I'm sorry, I don't know what the hell my dog is doing, but yeah, we're live, pal, because I love being live. Let me tell you. All right, what we got next here? Oh yes, this was a big story breaking out this week. Wrestling Revolver announcing that they're going to start streaming all of their shows over on their YouTube channel, which if you're noticing, you're starting to kind of see a trend of this happen with a lot of these different companies right now. So pretty interesting. And speaking of them streaming, they had their first show, Revolver Strong, this past Saturday that was available on their YouTube channel. And some big news coming out of this one. Mainly, we got a new Revolver World Champion, as Mance Warner would defeat Cruel to win the Revolver World Championship. So, it's awesome to see there, my friend. But tremendous. I apologize. I'm like literally trying to multitask here. Did you get to watch any of this Revolver show, B-roll?
No, I did not, but I did see that we're once again in the Mancer era, or at least
there was a great opener with Jake Christ and Gringo Loco going one-on-one too, which I got the privilege of seeing. Those guys want to go one-on-one in Indy. That was an awesome ass matchup.
So is it free on YouTube, or do you have to pay for like a membership?
No, I'm free, so it's on their YouTube channel. Also, and I'm not a deathmatch guy here, guys, so bear with me. I guess this was Ganger's last death match or something. He went against Alex Colon in the main event. So yeah, you can catch this over on Revolver's YouTube channel though, where you can see the whole event is available and catch all the fallout from this awesome show, my friend. Yes. Now this makes my nipples hard. I'm not gonna lie. Little tease. Lucha Underground may be coming back soon. That's fucking interesting. So I know you've never seen Lucha Underground, but I think you've at least heard of it, right, B-roll?
Yeah, I feel like okay, so like to me, it seems like it's like this like folklore of like everyone talks about it and how awesome it was, and like, but like the library of it is like non-existent. All you see is like clips and stuff or matches here and there. But like, yeah, heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who's putting it on. What's the production of it? Like, is it going to be like the original vision? Would it be different? Like, how would this go? A lot of questions, but man, I would love to see it back. I think a lot of us fans have been clamoring to see Lucha Underground back, so it'll be interesting to see what this tease is all about and where it's going from. This is also interesting too. Speaking of, we talked about WrestleCon earlier. Obviously, we know next year, potentially as things are going, it does look like Collective and WrestleCon. A lot of them probably aren't going to make the trip over to Saudi Arabia. So there's a little bit of a discussion going on here about like doing some type of a weekend or something. I'm for it. I think it needs to happen. Keep it in the States. I think it would be a very enjoyable experience. So whatever they decide to do, I'd be very interested to see. Very interested to see where it ends up too. So maybe it ties in. Maybe AEW comes in and does a big event or something. Who knows? I know a lot of people have been suggesting that. I would suggest that too. Shit, you could even tie it into like Dynasty or something. Make like the biggest Dynasty of all time or something. Who knows? But it's going to be very interesting to see how things transpire next year around this time of year and see what happens exactly with WrestleCon, with Collective, and with all of the amazing things that come a part of Mania week. So sure, we'll have some stories to break here in the upcoming future, and we'll keep you posted and let you know what is going to be the status of WrestleCon, Collective Week, and all that. I will say this, I believe WrestleCon, they are getting ready to run in Minneapolis in August for SummerSlam to tie in with that. So, I mean, that'll be your next WrestleCon experience, I believe. Go over their website. You can check it out. And the NFL draft took place this past weekend. How about this? AEW's own Swerve Strickland announcing a pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do fall. How cool was it seeing Swerve at the NFL draft?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Whose house? Swerve's house.
Swerve's house.
But man,
Most
that wasn't
dangerous.
talking about random though. As random as that is, this right here, this is wild to me. Pretty cool though. Seth Rollins making an extremely rare appearance at an independent show. He appeared at AAW's last show at the famous Berwyn in Chicago. This is the very last pro wrestling show there. AAW having the longest tenure there. Of course, Seth, or as Tyler Black, working his craft there for many years. Had some tremendous matches, winning some championships, including the AAW championship there. So pretty cool moment to see him come out and pay his respects for such an amazing company and it's such an amazing venue. Like we've said before here on PW60, I really hope things get squared away with the Berwyn and they can get back to doing wrestling again at some point. Doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime in the near future, but time will tell on that. But pretty random moment to happen. And speaking of random moments, let's go to Brian with the Hot Pockets random moment of the week. What the fuck?
Hot Pockets!
Yes, indeed. Brian's House of Random. Future so bright I got to wear shades. I hope, maybe. Hey, speaking of future, sadly some people got future endeavored by World Wrestling Entertainment. Just here very recently, several in fact. So I know it's been something that's already been talked about quite a bit, but I want to look at this. We've looked in the history, we've seen people who've been released. Eric Rowan in this case, he's been released twice from the company at least now. Some other ones have had that same outcome in the past, and they come back to the company, released again, whatnot. I know it's terrible to get laid off or released from any kind of job. I've been laid off from a job before, and it absolutely sucked not knowing what was going on. Of course, some of these people don't quite live paycheck to paycheck like a lot of us do, and they might have a little money stored up, but still, regardless, it still is terrible to lose your job regardless. So comment below, where do you think that all the people that got released will eventually end up when their time, that 90-day clause, is over with? Which ones and how many do you think might show up in AEW? Of course, that's an obvious choice. But knowing that there's some who might go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, TNA, I know TNA is still kind of semi-connected with WWE, kind of, or whatever, who knows. But how many might sign with TNA, hit the indie scene? Where do you think everybody's going to go? Explain, tell us all, let us know. So with that, hopefully their future's so bright they got to wear shades, because we've seen many people who've been released from WWE, Swerve Strickland being a prime example, and then go to another company and absolutely thrive. So I'm hoping the same for all these. that got released, from Akari Sane to the Motor City Machine Guns, all in between. So with that, have yourself a great rest of the week.
Hot Pockets.
Thanks, Brian, with that Hot Pockets random moment of
Hot
the week.
pocket.
Anyways, hey, this is huge news. We are so excited. The Ratty Daddy himself is back, baby. He's been cleared. Our good buddy Cole Radrick, and he is about to get the work in, baby. You're gonna see him here, there, and everywhere. He's got several shows coming up. Of course, definitely want to check out the MWT No Breaks, of course, part of the his home promotion. That show will be coming up to you in May, and we're going to be there front and center for that one. But the Ratty Daddy is back. We're so happy to report this. This is like the highlight for us to really talk about, I think, this week, is because we know how hard Cole's worked to get back here, and it's been a long road, but he's busted his ass, and the Ratty Daddy is about to get home in that squared circle. How excited are you for our boy Cole to be back in a wrestling ring, my friend?
Oh, I am so excited. As you can see here, like you said, you can catch him here, there, and everywhere. So,
there you go.
I'll take Cole Bratch, my favorite wrestler.
But go follow Cole on all of his social media so you can see, like, these are just some of the shows, but he's got several other shows, including this weekend too. He's got some shows coming up, so go follow him on all social media platforms. You can check out some of the amazing show he's going to go to and get out there and check it out, man. Well, we mentioned it earlier, Forbidden Door. It has officially been announced. Sunday, June 28th, from San Jose, California, Forbidden Door will take place. This is going to be an amazing show, as this is going to be teaming up with AEW, CMLL, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Stardom, all the big companies are going to be a part of Forbidden Door. And I got to tell you this. For the first time in a long time, I feel like this Forbidden Door, there's several different multifaceted stories going on. And these stories involve talents from different companies. That's going into this show. And I mean, we've still got a couple months. We've still got a big pay-per-view in Double or Nothing. There's even rumors there may be another pay-per-view in between there, I think. Or no, they're talking about one after. I apologize. But nonetheless, it's going to be here before you know it. So it's going to be very exciting to see what happens at Forbidden Door, man. I cannot wait. How excited are you for Forbidden Door, my friend?
I feel like the setup for this one, I think this year it's going to be a big one, one way or another. Yeah, I think it's might be the biggest one yet. You have potential of
and that's saying something.
Osprey versus Callum Newman.
Yep, I would assume. Yep. Probably if Gabe Kidd's healed up, I imagine something with him and Yota Tsuji. What's going to happen? We mentioned with Tekla and Stardom there. I mean, that's just a select few, because there's going to be plenty more incredible matchups. Mystico, what's he going to be into come Forbidden Door? Stay tuned. Persephone, just so many amazing talents across all four of these promotions. Sai Kamatani. I mean, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet of incredible professional wrestling action. It's going to be coming to you on Sunday, June 28th. Of course, stay tuned here on PW60, as we will have you more information on Forbidden Door coming up on June 28th. And it was some sad news here in the world of pro wrestling. We lost another one of the greats, Fan Hammer. If you're an old head like me, you remember Fan Hammer quite fondly, of him being on WCW television, being a staple as part of WCW television in the early 90s. Of course, he'd come out, the big muscle-bound man with his feed guitar, doing his shredding, kicking ass and taking names, wild attire. And then later on, being a part of Raven's Flock, and then having some singles runs here and there, and being a part of the Misfits in Action. I always liked Fan Hammer. I always, growing up, like I say, Fan Hammer, he wasn't one of my favorites, but I always enjoyed when he was on screen. So we here at PW60, we want to wish our condolences to the late, great Fan Hammer. He will be missed. Tremendous talent. do yourself a favor if you're not familiar with his work or anything like that. Go check out Fan Hammer. Look him up on YouTube. Do Google search. Do whatever. But he's got some awesome matchups out there. Like one that comes to mind in particular is a great Clash of the Champions, where he goes against Cactus Jack in a Falls Count Anywhere matchup, which is wild because this happened in like 91, I believe. 91, maybe 92. But they weren't doing matches like that, like on mainstream wrestling. So it's a really wild matchup. I think it ends up in like Horse Barn or something. They were like holding that clash at the fairgrounds. But anyways, check out Fan Hammer, man. Rebel former. And like I say, we here at PW60 want to wish our deepest condolences to him and his family. So, well, that's going to about wrap it. Oh, wait a minute. What? Okay, so we got a new segment on PW60. The final word is presented to by the Sheep Detectives. Which, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm over it. All right. B-roll. Nope. We're not doing this. Not doing this shit. We've been doing it the whole fucking episode. I'm not doing it anymore. Enough is a fucking enough. You know what? I'm okay. I've been pushed, and that is fucking it. You know what? You're going to get a little bit of a rant by me. You can call it a rant, you can call it a pipe bomb, whatever. I'm going to give you my thoughts on what's been going on in the past couple of weeks behind the scenes in pro wrestling. And I'm going to tell you this right now. It downright pisses me off, some of the shit that's going on. So if you could bear with me, let me like get your popcorn ready because I'm going to lay some true shit down for you, okay? Number one, let me tell you about my collective experience because I got to tell you something. Did I have a good time? Yes. But it wasn't like years past. No. There was a cloud going over collective weekend there in Las Vegas. Was it the fact that we were back there in Vegas again for a second year in a row? Perhaps that had some elements to do with it. But the fact of the matter is this. Anything that's tied in with Mania, it is completely different now. It's been going this way. Whether you all want to admit it or not. And like I say, I've been going the past 3 years in a row. And each year it's changed. The crowd has changed. And this year was the most drastic change I had seen yet. Granted, a good chunk of the fans there were there actually for the collective. But there was also a good chunk of fans there too who were not there for that and was just there to be seen. They're not for the wrestling action. Oh, no. They were there so they could take their little selfies, get in their little fucking spot, do their little videos, then edit their little fucking videos on the phone while the action's going on in the ring. And yeah, let me say this. Yes, I know. When I go to these shows, I vlog on them too, but for me, it's different. It's like the whole point of the vlogs that we do here on Cold TV is to show you what it's like to go to a pro wrestling show, to go to an independent wrestling show, okay? It's not about fucking like, ooh, look where I am. I'm at a death match. Ooh, look at this. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. And also, let me say this, too. If you go to an indie show and you don't know who the wrestler is, that's fine. Don't start up a stupid fucking chant, who is this guy? Do your goddamn research before you go to an indie wrestling show, okay? And here's the thing, too. It's like, come to our space. You know, if you want to come check out an indie wrestling show, you want to check out a company you haven't seen before, even if it's AEW or something, that's fine. Go for it. I encourage you to check out pro wrestling because that's what it is. It's about pro wrestling. But don't bring this fucking ideology from the other fucking company. And while we're talking about, let's talk about the goddamn elephant in the room. Let's talk about the fucking WWE, okay? I got news for you, folks. It's not the WWE anymore. That shit is not pro wrestling, okay? You know my gripes with it. I don't watch it anymore, and I'm glad I don't watch that shit anymore. I can't put up with it. I mean, you hear the stories, and yes, I saw some of WrestleMania in passing, and it was fucking dog shit. When you have like a fucking, let me tell you this, I was in a bar watching the Liv Morgan Stephanie Kerr match, and I think this is going to be fun. I thought it was one of the, like, you know, one of the better matches going in. They gave him 6 fucking minutes. 6 fucking minutes on a semi-main event of your biggest show of the year. That's the best you can fucking do is give them 6 fucking minutes. Granted, They have their little special introductions and shit that go way longer, right? But goddamn, we gotta save time for all of our fucking commercials, And yeah, you may have noticed tonight's episode of PW60, we were ribbing on that. But the fact of the matter is, this shit has gotten fucking out of hand. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how anybody could personally watch the WWE project because it's so saturated, so full of shit. Like, it's not World Wrestling Entertainment. That's not wrestling, folks. You want to know what WWE is, and that's not the acronym you folks need to be calling. Oh, no. It's SQE. You know what that stands for? Status Quo Entertainment, because that's all it's fucking about, is paying a fuck ton of money to go to these shows so you can just have your fucking picture taken. You can do your little TikTok, you can do your little fucking video or whatever. Oh, I was there. But are you actually watching the wrestling? Well, fuck, you can't watch the wrestling with them because, goddamn, you only got 6 fucking minutes on some of these matches. Like, what? The fucking longest match on night 1 was like 18, 17 minutes or something? And that ended up could have been an incredible contest, but turned into fucking dog shit because they involved a fucking celebrity, if you want to call him that, Pat fucking McAfee, right? Okay. But, originally there was rumors that was supposed to go to Malachi Black. That would have been an interesting spot. But you know what? Instead of giving you that spot, we're going to give you your fucking release because that's what we do. And I'm tired of this fucking narrative of like, oh, well, TKO. Like, fuck TKO first and foremost. Fuck them forever. Fuck them then, now, and forever, okay? But it ain't just TKO. It's Hunter. It's Nick Khan. It's like all these fucking guys. Like, y'all want to suck on the teat and suck Triple H's balls, whatever, fine, go for it. Doesn't change the fact that, like, you can say, oh, he's done all these great things, okay, but he's done a lot of shitty things too. And look at his fucking family, okay? Look at the family he married into. One of the most vile and disgusting and corrupt fucking families I can think of. I'm sorry, but I'm not fucking sorry. And like I say, this, you can call it a pipe bomb or whatever, but I am so goddamn sick of hearing about the McMahon, the fucking LeFex, Khans, not Tony Khan, but the Nick Khan, like, fuck all of them forever and a day. All they care about is the fucking money. And the thing of it is, this has been planned out for I don't know how fucking long, if you think about it, but it's always been about like, well, we make movies. We're not pro wrestling. They're not pro wrestling. They could put wrestling in the fucking title all you want. That shit is not pro wrestling. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of tremendous talents there too. But what they have done, what TKO has done, what WWE is doing is they are creating a venomous and toxic environment for their fans because I saw it firsthand. Honestly, like I say, I had a great time, but at the same time too, that percentage of fans that's like left over from fucking going to Status Quo Entertainment, like, they're toxic. They have no fucking manners. Joey Janela's Spring Break, for example, that was a sellout show. That was a standing room only show. You know what these pricks would do? They would come up and sit in like the front row for like seats where they shouldn't fucking be or whatever. And then they would just plop their happy asses down like on the side or anything like that. And I saw fights break out. I saw all this shit. And I saw a good chunk and percentage of fans just doing this shit. Like, I welcome you to come check out pro wrestling, but don't bring that baggage. Don't bring that shit with you. And this even stems back to, I remember going to AEW's World's End, which was a fun show, but that crowd felt different. And I come to an epiphany from this past weekend, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm going to say it. It's going to be a hot take or whatever. This new breed, if you want to call it, of wrestling fans fucking sucks, okay? And maybe I'm an old man on my porch. Maybe I realize, like, I'm past my time, whatever. But I can tell you this, I'm at least respectful. I'm not a fucking asshole who's, like, taking people's seats and shit and worried about just fucking doing my little Instagram posts, and I pay attention to the wrestlers, and you hear all these goddamn stories out this weekend, these fans, fucking the Elena Black shit, and then the fucking asshole fan who was recording like AJ and Bailey and shit, like, you self-entitled fucking pricks. You are ruining it for us true wrestling fans, okay? And I'm not saying this all to shit on you. If y'all still want to watch WWE, once again, I don't quite understand it, but like, to each their own. If that's what you want to watch, man, cool. And I get it. There's some tremendous talents there in the WWE. Don't get me wrong. But once again, it's not the WWE. It's status quo entertainment because that's all they fucking care about. All they care about is their Instagram views. All they care about is money. All they care about is fucking getting as many. And like I say, it's created this god awful toxic environment across the board in pro wrestling. Talk about the IWC. We've had problems with that for years. Like all the IWC wants to bitch and moan. You know, an amazing story, and we should have reported on this, but we didn't get it in time. But the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, just wrestled his last match at 83. I mean, how impressive is that? An 83-year-old man gets in the ring. And the thing of it is, was it a great match? No. But all people on the fucking internet is just type. Oh, let's fuck this piece of shit. He shouldn't be doing this, blah, 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 blah. He's killing the business. No, you're killing the fucking business, okay? You are bitching and moaning and taking away from the fucking enjoyment of pro wrestling. And I am goddamn sick and tired of it. And like I say, it's creating a toxic fucking environment, right? For everybody. And it affects everybody across the board. And I ain't done with you. Oh, let's talk about you content creators, okay? Let's fucking talk about you for a moment, okay? How you think you're all fucking high and mighty and can judge people who just ask simplistic questions. You know what? I question too. Why would they want to become a wrestling content creator? Because I can tell you this right now. You hear this loud and proud. We here at Cole TV, we are not, I repeat, not wrestling content creators. What we do is we create content, okay? We're not going to fucking record our little reactionary shit. We're not going to fucking do like our little, like, so we can get all the views and stuff and put out bullshit stories out there or whatever is hot. No. That's not us. We want you to enjoy pro wrestling. We want you to go to independent wrestling shows and enjoy pro wrestling. We want you to enjoy the art of professional wrestling. None of this shit. And then when you have your friends piggyback who like have a big following or whatever, and they say shitty things about some people who were friends with you. I'm not going to name names. You know who the fuck I'm talking about if you follow this shit. It's like fucking bullshit high school shit. And I can tell you this, B-Roll and I can speak for this specifically too, of some of these people in question. We've known they were assholes for years because we've dealt with them. Why do you think we didn't want to go do Squared Circle Expo this year? Because we didn't want to put up with the bullshit of all those assholes. And let me tell you another thing too, these so-called journalists, you're just as big as fucking assholes too. Because we've dealt with your shit for years, too. All we want to do is have a good goddamn time. We want to talk about pro wrestling. We want you to enjoy pro wrestling. We don't want all this drama, all this bullshit, all this toxicity that you all bring. So all of you, like fucking WWE, you asshole content creators, fucking you so-called journalists. I'm looking at you, Sean Ross Sapp. Fuck you, you asshole. All of you can go fuck yourselves because you are taking the love and enjoyment out of faux fucking pro wrestling and sucking the ever-loving life out of it. I want to try to think of a way to close this or something, but you've got me so goddamn pissed off and frustrated. At the end of the day, it is about the art form of professional wrestling. The best way you can support professional wrestling and keep it alive and well and healthy is to go support independent promotions. That is what it's about. That's where you're going to have the most fun because you know what? I'd rather be in a room with 100 people who want to fucking be there and watch the show instead of 3,000 people and all they goddamn care is like what about like, oh, look at me. I was at this show. Oh, I was at that show. How cool am I? Blah, blah, blah. From the bottom of my heart to TKO, to the LaFeck family, to the McMahon family, to Status Quo Entertainment, to all of you quote-unquote wrestling content creators who have like this massive following. I don't fucking know why, but it's the world we live in. To all of you so-called journalists, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, fuck you, bye. You're ruining fucking pro wrestling. And please come to our channel and check us out as a safe haven where we're not going to like be pricks. We're not going to tell you like, you know, what you watch, don't watch. Just fucking enjoy pro wrestling. Just fucking enjoy pro wrestling. I feel like I'm having an aneurysm. That's all I got. You got anything, B-roll?
I feel like it's like our I feel like we can sum it up in 3 words, right? Just enjoy wrestling.
Just enjoy wrestling. 'Cause that's what it's all about, folks. It ain't about the bullshit I saw behind the scenes at the Collective. It's not about, it's just about enjoying the art form of pro wrestling. That's what we encourage you to do. That's what Cult TV's always encouraged you to do. Fuck, all the hoopla and all the bullshit. And there's way too much bullshit going on in this world right now, trust me. Just enjoy pro wrestling. Jesus. No. We'll see. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Pro Wrestling 60. Stay tuned later this week. We got a brand new Learning the Ropes where we're going to be like a collective recap, talking about the good and the positives of the collective, which there was a ton. I'm Xlj the Og. This is Mr. B-Roll. We'll see you next time on another episode of PW60. And remember, just love and support and watch professional wrestling. Love you all. Thank you all.